Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of Buddhism with Movement. It's your boy here, Mum Poetry. I just had a couple thoughts today about duality, and as we approach the singularity zone, what we're noticing is that time becomes shorter and shorter, therefore, we're like on a timeline and it's all very similar for all of us. We may notice sort of the need for everything all at once, meets being able to do everything all at once. Those two things will come closer and closer together. And my suggestion for everybody is to work on your breathing, because as we move, we sometimes forget to breathe. So everybody should be doing pretty well there. Things like yoga, different tools are there to help us breathe, and ancient texts can be really great. Little sayings are really helpful. So, we pass information along to each other. Prayer without words, such as meditation, can be very helpful, because we don't necessarily need words because we're all the same. So we just need feeling. We need feeling and calmness, and I feel really good embracing duality. That's the really only thing that I can sort of go with. It's a really nice day outside. I would rather be outside walking around, but I'm glad that I'm doing this. Everybody seems to be just doing great. Different tools. I would say that PTSD in America for sure is our most underdiagnosed condition. And I would, we're all the same, but we are at different levels sometimes. So there are tools out there that can help you, shamanistic techniques from not Africa, but I believe South America, places like that where, some of those places stayed tribal on purpose for the sense of community, and we have all been participating in sort of an experiment to do with metals and strict ownership and things like that. And I think that what we're noticing is that the old world and the new world are trying to fit together in the best ways possible. So it's a adhesion with nature and things that are natural and of the plant world and are of ourselves as well. We as well come from nature, and that's beautiful. So we have that going for us. So yeah, there's a couple tools out there. For somebody who has extreme PTSD, rather than Xanax or something like that, there is a drug called Hydroxyzine. Kind of a scary name, but I have taken that in the past. On occasion, it's almost like just like every once in a while to kind of like pull back a little bit. That doctors I know are very willing to prescribe, because it does not have the same side effects. It's actually very low toxicity, comes from like the black pepper family. It's just been around since the 50s and has a very low toxicity rate. Um, I've taken that before, and it can make you tired, but some people need to sleep also. It can help with your sleep as well. And participating in certain things during the nighttime. I mean, I don't smoke too much cannabis anymore, but for some people, that could be their tool that helps. We're sort of, like I said, we need to, get on board with sort of this, like, all the tools exist and we need to use the best tools possible, but there are steps, and you can kind of think of, like, where in the moment, and we kind of like need to get the ball over the finish line of life. And certain things will help, and certain things will only help for a certain period of time. A lot of the Amazonian techniques, such as ayahuasca, I've heard can last for a lot longer because it just does a better job, I guess, of spreading out the imagination, so it's not all like hot in one part of the mind. So sending it in a creative way and in an interesting way is a really good option. But then there are certain things that can kind of like take the heat off a little bit. I would say cannabis and hydroxyzine are two things with somebody for extreme PTSD, such as I'm learning myself, are options that can help move the ball down the court, is what I found in my personal life. And always keep your mind open to new things. I mean, how many of us actually do yoga? How many of us turned on YouTube to follow yoga today? You can make up your own sort of yoga, and then, I mean, that's probably where I would start. That's where I have started. I had this foam roller, and I was just rolling out every day, and it was really great to help work on the breath. And, there's teachers like Wim Hof who have done the breathing to help him, in cold environments, but which you'd be surprised at what a cold shower could do for your mindset when you get out. It's really kind of cool. But just to breathe, the thing that I try to do with the Wim Hof is actually slow it down, because I notice the world being respondent to my breath. That's a really cool thing. So I just want to be responsible while I'm having a good time. Do the best I can to help everybody, because I believe that we now have the tools to help everybody. Absolutely everybody. I don't care like who you are or anything about who you were. I care about who you are, and the future has a funny way of nobody knows how the future could be if we were to step outside of the past, because the past is where we got this imagination, but we can take the time in the present moment to imagine a better world if we could dwell on no thought.